right. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Tonight's guest is Mark Travis again. Me and Mark will be talking about the new comics out, talking about Loki, talking about some Black Widow without giving away any spoilers. So this is a huge pain in the ass, as it always is. And as always, Group Therapy Podcast is brought to you by RU Game, the best video game, comic book, collectible shop in all of Piqua, Ohio. Located at 124 North Sunset Drive, Piqua, Ohio, 45356. And if you come in on Thursday, you'll get to see Mark, or Friday night, or sometimes on Saturday, playing Magic on Fridays and Saturdays.
Always a thrill to see Mark, I'm sure.
All right. Well, tonight we're going to talk about Black Widow. We both just saw it Thursday. You, in a kind of roundabout way, eventually got to see it on Thursday. Because, would you say the power went out in Huber?
We had just gotten in there. I went in to use the bathroom before the movie started because it said they got those signs, tell you whether the theater's available or not.
Yeah.
It said like wait out in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they were still cleaning. No sooner did I sit down on the throne of everything that the lights went out. I'm like, then I made a Facebook post about that. But it turns out that the entire movie theater lost all of its power all at once. They didn't know what was going on, and they had to empty all the theaters out and have everybody go outside. They were handing out rain check passes, by the handful of people. They gave me and Yanni like 5 of them.
Jeez.
Yeah. Then Yanni gives 2 to Justice Reams and his wife, who they were going to go inside and probably get some more anyway, but that's my wife for you.
Well, we went and seen it, Joe and Tina and I, and it was Tina's first return back since, no, I take it back. Tina went with me the other week to go see the Fast and the Furious 9. It was Joe's first time back in the theater since Godzilla Kong. So right. I'm the only one that's been going all the times back to the theater, where they're just, now we're going to be going back to almost every week, because I think this week is Escape Room, the new one. Is that right, Tina?
Yeah, Escape Room on Friday. You got Snake Eyes the week after that.
Yeah. Then the week after that is Jungle Cruise and something else. I can't remember what the other one is. So
yeah.
Give me one moment.
This is ABC. Levi's.
The Euclidean warlord says he has long admired the fit of your Levi's jeans.
Tell him it is a frequent custom to wear Levi's jeans on Earth, denim and corduroy. It is one of the things I often miss so far from home. But I do not think the Euclidean could wear Levi's jeans.
Levi's.
He says Clids do not exactly wear Levi's jeans.
Scouting today is a lot more than you think.
We'll return after these messages.
Ooh, that sounds crispy. I love that peanutty smell. What you eating, Luke?
Whatchamacallit.
What do you call it?
Whatchamacallit.
I mean, what's its name?
I told you the name.
It not?
Did too.
You said whatchamacallit.
That's right.
What do you call an incredibly crunchy bar of thick peanutty crisp covered in Hershey's chocolate? Whatchamacallit. You can ask for it by name.
Give me that.
Give me what?
Oh.
So, okay. I got to say, I liked Black Widow. People are hating on it. I mean, some people are pissed because of the whole Taskmaster reveal. That, without giving anything away, I'm not going to say what it is, but people are not happy about that at all. I think it's going to lead to something else. I think it's going to be going down the road. It's going to be a pivotal. I kind of want to say that's going to be part of maybe Armor Wars that we're going to get with War Machine on Disney Plus.
Could be. I think that character is going to show up again.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if it's going to be that character or another version of that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can't go into any details because we're not spoiling anything.
Yeah, because I hate when people got to go, oh, every reason why this character is this in like the day the movie drops. But and it is definitely as Joe was saying, he goes, Joe went and he goes, it's a safe movie because they can't really do anything big because it's takes place in a pre-existing timeline. So they can't do anything that would screw up the time, go against the continuity.
Anything that would screw up Infinity War movie.
Yeah, because it takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. And I went in. Yeah. And as Tina said, then the timekeepers would show up and fix everything. I am, like I said, I'm happy with it. I enjoyed it. It's not the best Marvel movie. It's not the worst Marvel movie. It's definitely better than Thor: Dark World. I like the characters. I like the dynamic of the four of them.
Yeah.
Red Guardian, Dave Harbour was that was great. I hope he comes back for more. I could definitely see him being in Captain America, the next one, or being in the next season of Cap and Bucky, or
it's possible, but if you remember at the beginning of the movie, he lost weight. Okay, I think they filmed that scene after the rest of the movie, because in any of the things they show now of him promoting the movie, he's a lot thinner.
Well, I don't think he's really. I think that's probably. Well, he's never been a thin guy. I mean, he did get really jacked for Hellboy, but you watch him on Stranger Things, and he's not like he's a real fit guy.
I think he gains weight for that because Harper's supposed to be this out of shape cop.
Yeah, I'm. But no, I could see him coming back, and I could definitely see the references to the Winter Guard or the Soviet super soldiers or the Supreme Soviets or whatever they want to call themselves now, because I think they're the Winter Guard now. So yeah. I would love to see them show up. That's them. I'm not gonna lie. The Winter Guard are some of my favorite like offbeat characters from Marvel. I've always been a fan of Vanguard and Dark Star and Ursa Major and yeah, it's great. And the fact that they just recently appeared in Avengers again, that was fun too. So the newest issue, they should drop this way. That you probably didn't read yet because you don't read your book.
I did read that issue.
You did read an issue the week it came out.
Yes.
Shocking, Mark.
Spoiler, one of them gets killed by one of their own.
Yep. And well, we all know that this is leading up to World War She-Hulk. So that's the big thing. I got the Peach Momoko of all things, the Blade cover. That's just a weird. Because all they offered was Peach Momoko Avengers cover, and that's what I ordered. So I don't even know if it listed as a Blade, because that's just, I don't know. That's a.
They don't always show the pictures.
No,
they don't always show the pictures.
Nope. But like I said, I think this is opening up something down the road. It's definitely, if you watch through the post-credit scenes, it's definitely leading to something. But I'm hoping it sets up, the characters that I've liked since, of all things, the one issue of Rom, the Space Knight, where he fought the Soviet super soldiers back in the day. That 2 issues were that got me to love those characters. And the fact that they refer to 2 other characters from that team in the movie. I won't tell you which ones, I won't tell you when, and I won't tell you where. But there is references, and I think that's great. So and also, like I said, great supporting cast in that movie. I'm really happy. And the fact that they throw back to stuff that they refer to in older movies, that's fun. The fact that they refer to her time with Barton and stuff like that, that's really good. So I don't know. I'm happy with it. Like I said, there are other people who are just tearing it apart and giving it shit. I'm happy for what it is. And the fact
There's
that
always people that do that.
No, yeah. I'm happy we got a Black Widow movie, period. Which, to be honest, I didn't think we would have got. I thought we would have got one before now, and then after her death in Infinity, in Endgame, I didn't think we were going to get one, and then we end up actually getting one. But it's a prequel to a sequel, and so
Yeah.
I'm happy with it, but I also look at it as it's not an important movie. It's just a fun movie with a character that we like. So,
yeah.
Oh yeah. And since we talk about characters we like, we'll talk about Loki. Okay. People are mad because people ran out and got that Vote Loki book that came out and are not happy that his appearances in that episode like that much. But they're also
Which book?
The Vote Loki, the one with him on the cover. Yeah.
Okay.
With the President Loki.
Yeah.
But then now they're driving up the Throg first appearance because of his.
Yeah, I'll have to take your word for it. I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched it yet? Jesus Christ, Mark!
I've been busy.
Busy. What you been doing? What you been doing? You've been
watching Leverage.
Watching Leverage. And the fact that Leverage is back. Yeah, Tina, Leverage is back. Yeah.
I'm working full time, going to school full time, and still have time to watch Loki.
Yeah, Tina is going to school full time, working full time, and she still has time to watch Loki. You need to get on that shit now. When we get done with this, you go watch Loki. Okay?
I can't do that.
No, because your wife will be pissed.
Yeah, gotta watch it with the wife.
Oh yeah, but the fact is,
you watch shit with the wife.
Yeah, well, we got one post-credit scene so far this season.
Yep,
and that's all we've gotten. So even they had a post-credit scene in episode 4, episode 5, no post-credit scene. I can tell you that much. It doesn't give anything away.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to go out on a little bit of speculating on this, but I think it's a good speculation because it's a lot of it. But setting in the store, I'm getting a lot of this whole thing, and I believe it is setting up Kang. I believe it's setting up the What If universes. So I'm hoping that that's where this is all leading, and fingers crossed, because they keep saying.
I'm actually looking forward to the What If.
Oh, I'm very much looking at What Ifs, and we get that next month, starting I believe on the 11th.
Yeah, and I'm not a cartoon guy, but I plan to watch that.
Well, it's cartoon, but it's also voiced by everybody who appears in the movies. So
Right.
and What Ifs have always been great. What Ifs,
Yeah.
one of my favorite Marvel stories, anyways. And the fact that we're getting What Ifs now as a complete miniseries, because right now, Spider-Man, is now, or Spider-Man Shadow of the Spider. What is that? 6 issues, and it's a what if. So that's cool. And then we got what was a couple years back. We got What If Deadpool Venom. We got the then of course we always get the What If little one shot.
I vaguely remember that particular issue. Yeah.
No, not that one. The one Back in Black, the one where he's in the black and white costume,
Okay.
and not the one shot that they put in the What Ifs, and then reprinted by itself, which is now stupid. Which
Yeah. That one. Yeah. I got that one.
I think I do. I don't know. That's one of the ones.
I didn't realize it was a reprint. I usually don't buy those sometimes. And so I bought it.
Yeah.
And okay. Now it's stupid valuable for a reprint.
Well, it's a reprint because it was the backup story in a regular issue of What If. So
right, and it was in the 5 What Ifs that came out that month.
Yeah.
And the value of those 5 What Ifs is not even close to the value of this one reprint book.
Yeah, because the reprint had a low print run because everybody had already gotten the books, so no one bought the reprint.
Yeah.
So it's one of them things that happens a lot with comics right now, especially right now. People don't jump on them books right away, and then it goes to reprint, and then the reprint, keeps getting reprinted, and it keeps getting lower and lower and lower print runs, so that 5th, 6th printing only might have 1,200 copies or whatever, and suddenly
Stray Dogs, everybody.
Stray Dogs, goddamn right, Stray Dogs. I jumped on that when it was boom. That legitimately, outside of maybe, because it just ended last week, so the last issue dropped, and then then they're gonna have a new series coming out soon. But the fact is that Stray Dogs up until last week, it was always a tie. So if it came out the same week as an Immortal Hulk, that was a toss up, because I always read Immortal Hulk or Stray Dogs first. That's usually one of my first books I read every week. And Spider-Man's back up to being one of the first books I read again too. So, because there for a while it was not. It dropped way down on the read list because of the whole when it became more of a Boomerang than Spider-Man. That was just goofy. I don't know why they had that.
That whole thing was explained. The King's Ransom.
Yeah.
Size. Yeah, Boomerang explained the whole reason why he was there the entire time.
Yeah.
Just to gain Spidey's trust. Because he needed Spidey to get the thing, because he couldn't do it himself.
Yep. But it was, I get that, and I get the whole, but it was just, you're just like, you're reading the book and it's just not entertaining during that time. And you go from a very entertaining book to that storyline that wasn't entertaining, and now it's picking back up being entertaining again. And I'm looking forward to the whole Sinister War. I mean, right now I think there's 4 different Sinister teams now. I have to go look up the book sitting over there, because I haven't bagged it and boarded it.
I have no idea.
You haven't read this week's issue yet, Mark. I did. Good.
I read Avengers. I read Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk was fun. I really liked that. The fact that Betty is pissed at Hulk, or at Fix-It, for leaving Banner in hell. And they got to tie up this shit because it's what 2 issues left, 3 issues.
Well, not only that, when Fix It was in Vegas, he never once tried to find Betty.
No, and
He's pissed about.
Yep. Oh, he was hooking up with Marlo at the time. Why would he go hunt down Betty?
I know, Marlo.
Yeah. Now she. I'm not sure because that's been a long time ago. They killed her off though, didn't they? I don't remember anything about Marlo in a long time.
Yes and no. Marlo was some kind of other entity.
But
yeah, I dimly remember reading something.
It's one of the ones I'm gonna have to go back because I haven't thought about the character in a while.
Oh, Marlo was Death.
Is Death?
Yeah.
So Death did
Death.
part of
Yeah, Death. It was actually Death.
Well, right now you have the weird abomination Rick Jones creature that's running with Gamma Flight right now. You have Doc Samson possessing the body of Sasquatch, and as Sasquatch is running around now in another body trying to find his body. And then you got Titana and Absorbing Man and Puck as Gamma Flight doing things to fight gamma irradiated things. And then we get the 6 issues of that. So, which knowing Marvel and their history with Alpha Flight / anything like that, it might go 4 issues.
Yeah. They do tend to cut things short.
Oh man, I every time I get happy because they keep bringing back Alpha Flight, they will completely kill Alpha Flight. They're like, we're doing another Alpha Flight full series. Then it's like, nope, it's 8 issues. Now it's 6. Okay, we're doing 4 issues. How do you go from an ongoing series down to 4 issues in like,
or they stop at 12.
Or what?
Or they stop at 12.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of the Burn run, and I know that, and then the that second run I kind of like too. The later stuff I wasn't a big fan of, but they try, so I'll always give it a go to give it, But I mean, to be honest, most of the Alpha Flight's now member of the X-Men anyway, so well, not you got North Star and Aurora in the X-Men. You have Sasquatch and Puck in Gamma Flight, technically. But then you've got the other ones that are just missing. Vindicator and Guardian are gone. Nope, Talisman and Shaman are on Strange Academy. So they're still hanging around. And then Wild Child is a member of the X-Men.
Yep.
Let's see, who are we missing?
Jeffries.
Nope, he's there.
Is he?
Yeah, because he's working with he's working with Forge in a couple issues. But we don't have Marina, but she's been gone. And then you have all the oddball characters that they brought back later that kind of disappeared. So, okay, I guess not as many of them are missing as I thought, but they're all on other teams. They need to come back and do an Alpha Flight book.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like I said, I'm a firm lover of the Alpha Flights, at least the old school stuff. That original run. There's a few missed opportunities in there, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. So, but I don't know. The right now what's crazy is the books that are going nuts before they even come out. Like, was it last week we had the X-Force or X Factor with the death
X Factor 10,
X Factor 10, the death of Wanda. But you don't see
which
anything.
I'll be honest, it was just one panel.
Yeah. And it's already gone stupid. And then of course, Diamond in her infinite wisdom sent us, my copy was damaged, of course. You can almost guarantee you if it's going to be a hot book that week, it will ship damaged or short.
Yeah.
So, well, even Lunar is getting bad at that because our what Joker number 2s, or was it 3? The first lady.
It was
Bang.
2.
Yeah, we got shorted. Those were damaged.
All our copies were damaged. And it took a month to get replacements.
And then we never got all the replacements.
Never got the C cover.
Nope. And they want you to destroy those, so it's not like you can even try to get some of your money back out of the ones that were damaged. So
I was chuckling this week. I had to do strip cover returns for Lunar. And one of the strip covers was the blank cover of Wonder Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you take off that blank cover, it was stapled on over the top of the regular book. So I still have a book I can sell, and a cover to send back to them.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice, but that's not every issue anymore.
No.
It's gotten ridiculous with the amount of stuff that speculators jump up like before it even comes out. Then on top of that, you got to worry about if you're even going to get that book, and then if it gets there, whether you'll get a replacement if it's damaged or shortened, because then you got to put that through Diamond or Lunar and hope you actually get the books that you ordered that aren't damaged. Because like I said, my X Factor 10 is damaged. There's a big crease right down the middle. I'm pressing it right now, and I've gotten a lot of it out. And it says that we're supposed to get the replacement on it, but it said we were supposed to get replacement for other books in the past that we didn't get. So yeah. I don't think we ever got our damage replacements for this is going way back, but the death of Rick Grimes, remember that? And we got those were damaged.
No, we didn't get any replacements on those.
Nope. But they said they were going to ship us some. They said they had damage replacement. They had replacement. But nope. It kind of sucks. And then
you know what happens? Some local retailer is allowed to go into their warehouse and pull whatever they want, and then they just adjust the inventory in their system and take away from the people who had confirmed orders.
Oh yeah. Well, what was real bad was not through them, but through one of my other distributors. I ordered stuff and I didn't get it, and come to find out that one of the other count reps were taking from my order.
Count reps.
They were taking from my order to make sure that their big orders got filled. So I was getting shorted product to make sure that somebody else's order got fulfilled, got all the stuff that he wanted. So I got none. So the guy that orders, 100 boxes of this or 100 boxes, probably more than 100 boxes, got all his stuff. So I got none. And then I had to wait for the product replenishment so that I could get my initial run. So That's always fun. But that's a completely different distributor, and I've already threw a fit about that. So hopefully that will not happen again, and it hasn't happened since. So I went off. I was not happy. But that's and then right now we got to deal with the fact you have like Magic, who can't keep caught up, but keep pounding out more product instead of taking the time to get caught up. So now they're
Yep.
behind before they even release their initial product, because they don't have an initial product to even release at all.
Yeah, they've got enough to fulfill most everybody's pre-release orders. I have heard that some people, depends on the distributor, are going to get shorted some of their set boxes on pre-release weekend, which is where you take your pre-orders for anyway.
Yep.
And then, my distributor, which is a different warehouse than your distributor works out of, already sent out an email saying that they're going to be splitting the release product in basically 2 waves for set boosters and draft boosters.
Well, what's ridiculous is you work at 2 stores. You work at my store and you work at another store. And we work with the other store. We work with SC Collectibles. SC Collectibles works with us. We, no fighting amongst the stores here. They are literally only across town. Completely different warehouse, completely different account rep. That's just weird to me. That you guys are what, 2 miles away, maybe? Yeah. Completely different warehouse.
Well, not only that, I get emails to place our orders. Or I get emails say, I can get this much product, then I have to place the order. And then you got your guy who contacts you almost a month later than when I had to turn my order in.
Yep.
And he tells you what you can get, not what you can order.
Yeah, he'll tell me exactly. He'll go, you're allocated 25 boxes. Do you want your allocation? Yes, I want my 25 boxes. Okay. I don't get you have to pre-order your stuff way in advance. I get mine last minute, and he'll tell me exactly what I get. And he'll tell me what my allocation is on everything.
Right.
And I don't have to dick with it. It's all just, okay. Yep, I'll take it all. Or nope. I mean, at this point now, I don't turn almost anything down because I just hope I get what I'm supposed to get to begin with.
Right.
But is that you?
Yes, it's a certain customer named Darby who wants a Black Panther Scotty Young cover.
Of course he does.
Only problem is I put out a thing earlier this week.
Didn't it have to be in by
As far as I
yesterday?
know, the 4 p.m. today.
4 p.m.
Yep.
Too bad for Darby.
Diamond's going to be start doing the Marvel's FOC on Sundays, supposedly with this week, but I haven't noticed any difference on their website. Let me tune him out.
I would say that is loud. Just like right by your microphone or something.
Yeah, it's sitting right next to the laptop.
So for those, I keep telling everybody, because I'm posting our customers, everybody, that always check a FOC. If you can get to your store, your local store, because FOC is what, final order cutoff?
Yep.
You can sometimes get covers or books that were never in the order book, like Batman Fortnite, which didn't appear in the order book, wasn't scheduled to be even ordered until the first issue had already come out. Because didn't the first issue come out and then the order was placed then the next week? Something stupid like that?
They had the FOC for the first issue, but it was never in their actual order guide. It didn't actually show up in their order guide until I think issue 5.
Yeah, and then it had all like 6 issues in it.
First 3 issues were FOC only.
Yeah, And
And
then
until you saw the third cover, you yourself didn't even order any.
no, because I didn't know what it is at first. And then all of a sudden it's
Right.
like, well, you know what got me? Batman versus Snake Eyes. Not gonna lie, that had me like, oh yes, Batman Snake Eyes. I will take all 3 covers. So
And what I didn't notice was that these books are all returnable. And at the time, I wasn't ordering like quantity, knowing I could return it.
yeah.
I did find out. I saw something Friday that gave me a chuckle. The Batman Fortnite books, they're not strip cover returns. I have to actually send back the whole book sealed in the poly bag.
I can see that. That way
Yeah.
DC can get them and then ship them off somewhere else.
Well, they also got those codes, so they know that those codes aren't being used.
I bet you $10 that Walmart will have polybagged all 6 issues in the next month or so.
Sure.
So, drive those prices back down on that book when the shelves.
I think those prices have already gone down. I mean, according to what I've been told, Pete at Bell Book, he's putting everything out on the shelf now at cover price, even the premiums from it, like the earlier issues. He's already made his money off all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I just bag and board them and throw them in my collection. I've never opened the first issue. And to be honest, I got them because I was gonna give the codes because I got the trade paperback to give the code to Joe. Joe's not even playing Fortnite anymore. So by the time I get the book with the code in it, because the code's gonna be in the trade paperback too, I won't need the code because Joe doesn't play the game anymore. So
yeah, I'm just not sure the code in the hardcover is the same codes that you get from the books.
Yeah, because I think it's like I think it's a grappling hook for Catwoman or something. Or
yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. Joe knows exactly what it is. I don't play Fortnite.
And of course, the hardcover is not coming out till September, so you got to wonder how many people are not going to care by that point. I was pretty conservative on my hardcover order. I normally don't order any hardcovers. I ordered what my customers wanted plus 2.
Yeah.
Just in case somebody wanted to buy it off the shelf.
Yeah. I there for a long time when it first came out, I had phone calls 4 or 5 times a day at least, every day, for people wanting Fortnite. I had people coming in constantly wanting it. I'm like, I don't have it. We'll have the second prints. But we wouldn't. And by that time, about a week or 2 later, by the time issue 2 came out or issue 3, no one cared anymore. It was hot because it was a Fortnite comic book.
They're mainly sitting on the shelf now.
Yeah, it's this. Yeah, it was hot for a minute, and now it's not.
Even though you got to have all the codes to even get anything from any of those codes. You have to buy every issue to be able to turn those codes in and send them in.
Yep. And
the current issues are just sitting.
Nope. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, the only reason I got it is because it had Batman versus Snake Eyes, and that's the only reason I'm going to read the book when I eventually get the trade paperback. Because like I said, I hate opening polybag stuff. So I used to order 2 of everything that was polybagged, just to have an openable copy. And now I'm to the point now where it's like, I'll leave one sealed. Now they usually like magic right now. We get the polybagged ones with the mystery Planeswalker cover. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
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 So you get that, but then you get the regular cover. So same thing they did with Power Rangers. They did the mystery cover, and it was polybagged, and then they release a regular cover. So I didn't have to buy 2 of the polybag covers for my personal collection. I just bought the one. So And then it's weird because it's all printed weird. So the Power Ranger logo is like really way down on the bag, and the bag's like really miscut. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that when people you go to your comic shop and they don't know what to order because no one even knows the book's out yet. So you always release the FOC every week, and I tell everybody, hey, this book's coming out or whatever. Or if it's something like with Adam, because Adam doesn't get on the internet at all. He doesn't really, he doesn't get on any social media. He looks stuff up, but that's about it. So I always tell him, or I know what he'll get and I just order it for him. And I'm like, I'll risk it because, he's never turned down a book that I've ordered for him. So I just put it in his file, but I always give him the opportunity. I'm like, dude, I picked this up because I figured it was something that you'd want and you didn't get a chance to get to it. And usually it's like, yeah, okay. And it just kicks it on down the line. And he, so far I've only had like one book that I've had to take back because somebody was like, nah, I don't want it. I'm like, okay. I'm not like back at the old days at Funny Farm. Remember that where Paul would order stuff because he thought you might like it. And then when you didn't buy it because you already had it or something, like he'd get mad at you. Did you ever do that to you?
I never actually had a file with Funny Farm. Always went and bought it off the shelf.
I had a file with him for a few years, and he would get mad because he'd order stuff and I'm like, I already got that. If he'd have got me stuff that I didn't know I could get, or stuff I didn't have.
He knew what I was buying. He knew some of the things that I was buying.
Yeah.
Like when New Teen Titans first went direct market,
mm-hmm.
He knew I was coming down for that. So when I went in, he'd hand me a copy. But as far as having an actual file, I never set one up. Back then, I was ordering through a company called Westfield for most everything.
I remember them days.
Yeah.
I went to Funny Farm and StarQuest Books in Troy at one point. If you remember them.
Down on the corner by a case.
Yep. I would go there, and I would go to a flea market down in on Dixie, because that guy would always have the 10-cent comics. Not like 10-cent price one, but like all of his comic books were 10 cents a piece. So I would go down there and just walk out with like a stack of ROMs like this high, or GI or Star Wars or Battlestar Galactica. He had all that shit back in the day, and I would go down there and I would buy it at like 10 cents a piece. And
sure,
yeah, so I got a ton of that stuff back then. And I would go to StarQuest because that's where I would go, and I'd get Swamp Thing when I was a kid, because that was when it was direct market and our newsstand didn't get it. So legitimately, StarQuest was the closest to Piqua or Sydney, where I lived at the time, to go all the way down there and pick it up. So, and he's the one that got me to read Watchmen. He's like, you like Swamp Thing? This is the guy who wrote this. I'm like, oh, okay. And then, I was way too young to be reading Watchmen at that point, and didn't get it until much later. But
I think I bought Watchmen from Funny Farm when it was coming out. I'll be honest, I read it, but I also didn't get it that much either.
I was like 11, I think. Did that come out, what, 85?
Could be.
But yeah, I know I was too young.
Car back then. I had I rode my bicycle down to Vandalia to try and get New Teen Titans #1, and get down there, find out it was delayed. So I had to ride all the way back. And then I eventually got a moped. And I was riding that for a year or two. I didn't really have a car until I was like 19 or 20.
Yeah. Well, I remember you telling me that you would ride your moped when you went to what, ITT Tech. You would hop in it and ride it all the way down to all the way from Troy. Oh, nope.
Down the Needmore Road.
Published in
Took
86.
about an hour.
Yeah.
86.
86. I was 12. I was in junior high when Watchmen came out. I was reading Swamp Thing, and then all of a sudden Watchmen came along, and I was not ready for that at 12 years old. If I would have caught it a couple years later when I was in high school, I think I might have been okay with it, but I was not ready for it at 12. Because it's 12 to 13, so junior high years. I was more of a action. I was a X-Men guy. That, not that I still am not an X-Men guy, but I was definitely X-Men. Probably X-Men, Firestorm, Green Lantern. Probably still like G.I. Joe, Transformers around then. So, and then all the weird, then ROMs.
Mid 80s.
Oh, Teen Titans.
Yeah.
So I was definitely one of the that was not reading, like, I was not reading Amazing Spider-Man, but I was probably reading Spectacular Spider-Man because I was a weird kid. I didn't read Hulk at the time. I didn't read Captain America. I didn't read any of the main titles. It was always my, the off ones, like at that time. But the thing was those were the hottest books out at the time. And a lot of people forget it back then, because what was the top 3 books of back then was X-Men, Teen Titans, Swamp Thing, and I can't remember which one of the other ones were, but they always made a big deal about that and put it in the back of the comics. Remember that?
I think Hawk was up there too because of the TV series.
That's in the 80s or in the 70s.
It's very late 70s, went into the
late
80s.
70s, early 80s, yeah. So I know that
they made a big thing. Yeah, seen on TV, blah blah blah.
Yep, because you got Rampaging Hulk, the comic book, that was more in line with the TV series than the regular Hulk comic was. So that was that black and white magazine that was more aimed towards the people that were watching the Hulk TV series. Supposedly, I don't know. That was the reason that book was created. So, oh yeah, I read a lot of Conan. That was the other book I was reading big time back then. D&D kid, so go figure. I'd read a lot of Conan. Then we got D&D comic books from DC Comics, and I started reading those because I was a D&D kid. So
I read Conan, but it didn't always keep my attention.
Story arcs. For me, it was always, it had to be, a good story arc going, because there'd be dull story arcs that just wouldn't keep my attention. So I'd skip a few issues and then pick it up again, and skip a few issues and pick it up again. So I did that a lot. I think the only thing I collected with any regularity was Savage Sword, the magazine one, because that was more not aimed towards kids, where the other Conan books were more towards well, they weren't towards a kid audience, but they were more towards a junior high school, where Savage Sword were high school, college kids. So they're right, cat. My cat's roaming around over here. Now the other cat, now they're fighting. So
Yep.
I don't know. But so what's your top book right now, Mark, that you have to read that's not Immortal Hulk?
Been reading Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, it's Fantastic Four is real fun right now.
Yeah.
I I really like the Fantastic Four run right now because I think it's got an old school feel to it. It's going back to that family dynamic of the team. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Yeah. The fact that we're getting, back to Johnny and Ben, fighting around again. You got the Richards kids. So you have Valeria and Franklin, and then now you have Alicia and Ben who have their adopted kids, the Skrull kid and the Kree kid.
Well, not only that, Alicia's using the radioactive clay that her dad used to use.
Mm-hmm.
She's been using that.
Oh,
So that could lead to something down the road.
I always thought that was something that would eventually go away, the radioactive clay, because that is very much a product of the 60s when that came out. They're like, we just use this radioactive clay and make them into a figure and I can control that person. And that is such a 1960s thing because it's
Yeah.
it's the goofiness, and then nope, Marvel's still pulling that out and still going, yep, radioactive clay. Yeah, mind control. Still works.
Yep.
Like I said, right now, like I said, the ones I have to read. Well, now it's done. Stray Dogs was always right there at the top. Immortal Hulk is always got to read, but now Spider-Man's back again. That whole Boomerang part dragged it down, but now it's back to being on one of the ones I have to read every week when it comes out. I like what they're doing right now. It's going back. I mean, like way back with Spider-Man, and
yeah.
It's something that you really don't see with Marvel doing a whole lot. Seriously. So all you're going to hear in this episode is Tina's cat back there. So I have to read those two, at least those two every week. What are you laughing about now?
Did it run away?
No, she's roaming around
Did it
behind.
run away?
No. She's literally
No, fine, be that way.
So.
Oh, well.
What was funny is that when I went over to your house the other day, I seen one of their brothers, I think.
It's either brother or parent.
Yeah, because that one looks exactly like May's, except for the coloring on her face is just a little bit different. I had to take a double take. I was like, "What the hell's my cat doing?"
Cat there?
What?
You talking about a black and white cat?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It was sitting there and it looks just like May's. So I don't know. Oh, God dang it. Batman. I gotta read Batman every week when that comes out right now. It's
I don't.
I'm really liking what they're doing with it right now. It's the fact is that basically Gotham has finally just gotten tired of all the vigilantes. And now they're bringing in people to take out the vigilantes who are actually villains, but it's something that they, I feel like they would have done a long time ago, actually. But I'm liking that. And the current run of Justice League. I really like that too. I like that team. It's very different than the traditional. It's sure, you got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, but Black Adam, Naomi, Hippolyta, that's no Wonder Woman. Yeah, you got Hippolyta instead of Wonder Woman. So yeah, I like that. I like that.
I'm up to date on Swamp Thing. I'm up to date through issue 4. I haven't read
Yeah.
5 yet.
I like what they're doing there. I actually think that has very much the old school Vertigo feel to Swamp Thing, which it hasn't had for a while. Because it's dark. I mean, it's super dark. So I really like that one. And the unfortunate thing is that I'm really liking Crime Syndicate, and I know that's going to end, and they're not going to. It's 6 issues. That book could definitely go for a while, and we're not going to get nothing. And it's like, oh man, And then I think that I thought we were going to get the Crime Syndicate versus Suicide Squad, but I don't know if we're going to get that now. I thought that's what they're kind of leading up to, but it's only 6 issues, so hopefully that'll be a mini series onto itself. So
yeah, there was a time DC would not do a miniseries.
No,
They sit there and says, do a miniseries for anything. Now, just about everything's a miniseries.
Yep. Like Justice League Last Ride, I like that, but that's miniseries.
Yeah.
Crime Syndicate miniseries, Swamp Thing miniseries, everything's a miniseries. So DC, even when they did do miniseries, they did like their the properties, so they would get like IPs for toys and stuff like that. That I get, that was a miniseries, but it had to be 12 issues. You know what? You had like Camelot 2000 or 3000, whatever that. Yeah, Camelot 3000. That was 12 issues. Watchmen 12 issues.
Spanner's Galaxy.
Huh?
Spanner's Galaxy.
Yeah, 12 issues. Everything was 12 issues. It wasn't
Sun Devils, 12 issues.
Yeah.
Even Amethyst originally was a 12-issue series.
2 12-issue miniseries. Yes, Amethyst, Princess of the Gem World. Really good, underrated book. Very good, underrated book. That first issue
Darby's
is really
favorite character.
Yep, Darby's favorite character. It's really creepy when you reread that first book. I haven't read it in, I don't know, like 10 years or so. And I got all 12 issues again. I just ended up with a bag of them. I bought bulk, so it was all 12 issues again. And I reread that first issue, and I'm like, oh wow, they were I forgot those monsters were trying to get that girl. That's that was aimed towards kids too. Yep. That's a touchy subject to be bringing to kids back in the day. So and nope, over there. What's funny is I think that predates She-Ra, and that's very much what a She-Ra-esque character, where she was the girl who had become the princess and then be able to turn back to the little girl. So DC loves that though. You always had the kids that could turn into heroes. You had all the Shazam family. You had Amethyst. You had Dial H. Yep. So, all right. Well, Mark, we've been here about an hour. I'm going to go ahead and cut us off tonight. And I want you to think about this one, because we're going to plan on doing this one. I got other people who want to do it, because I was going to do it tonight. Is what we talked about last night, that 1987 was the best year for movies. And no one believes me until they start looking up the year 1987 for movies. And then everybody's like, holy shit, that was like the best year for movies. It's just the amount of really good movies to the ratio of year is just staggering. So, But yeah, I want to do
Yeah.
that one where we can get more people in here and talk about it. So, but I'm going to let you go. But before I let you go, I'm going to tell everybody to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can come to the shop and visit us in person at RU Game. And I want you guys to stick around and watch my other show, which is actually doing better than this show. But so watch that show and then stick around for this show. So I'm going to let you go, Mark, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Maybe.
Maybe tomorrow.
If not, definitely Tuesday.
Most likely Tuesday, but yeah.
Okay. I'm sure you'll call me or text me for something. So, all right, man.
Sure.
You have a good night, and I will talk to you later. And
Yep.
I am Paul. And we are not licensed therapists.
Mark.
Adios.
Oh God, no.
Later. All right.
You really want my advice? I'll give it to you, but I don't suggest you take it.
What?
I'm not licensed. I shouldn't be giving anybody advice.
I never give it. We always say that at the end of every episode. We're not licensed therapists.
Yeah.
It all started from Brandon, and it just keeps going. So,
Oh, okay.
all right, man. Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
Later. Bye. All right, and you guys stick around. We are going to do a commercial for our friends with their podcast. They take a look at what it would be like to live in the real world of the Marvel Universe. And here is their commercial. So enjoy.
In 1961, the Fantastic Four returned from space and the world changed forever.
Over the next year, the Earth experienced 3 alien attacks, the destruction of Lower Manhattan, and the re-emergence of ancient gods.
Super Serious 616 is the podcast that covers it all from the inside.
What would it be like to live in that world?
Join Ed and Mike as they ask questions no one else is asking.
Is Iron Man a good use of shareholder capital?
Subscribe at Super Serious 616 or wherever you get your podcasts.